What is up, you guys? Wanted to give you a warm welcome back to the Seed Retention Network. Now, the topic for today's video is going to be one thing that every man and woman can do to exponentially improve their life today. So, with that being said, before I start, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So the one thing that everybody can do to exponentially improve their life today is this: get a journal. You need to start a journal. One thing that people say is, if you aren't able to clearly articulate your thoughts, then you don't have mental clarity. Now, that being said, think about the amount of people that are wandering through this world just completely on autopilot, right? Lost and acting out of habit and nothing else. It's probably a very, very significant portion of people, considering, let's say, for example, the obesity rate. It's like 75% in America. What does that tell you? They have no clarity of thought. They have no control over their lower carnal desires. Now, how will a journal help you? Well, it depends on how you use it. If you get it and you have every intention of, doing an entry every day and, actually utilizing it, but don't, what benefit are you going to get from that? So, number one, you got to actually be consistent with your use of it. That's like buying let's say, let's say the ignition is broken on your car and you buy a new ignition, but you just let it sit in the garage and you don't you don't put it in and you don't fix what is wrong with the car. It's pointless. So get the journal and actually use it. Now, if you need a little inspiration or guidance in regards to what to actually put in the journal, I'll give you guys my little template that I do every day. Sorry, every day. Excuse me. So I do this beginning of every week. I'll plan out the next 7 days, right? Just write the date at the top. The first thing you are going to put down is the tasks that you need to complete for that day, right? Draw a little empty box, right next to it, a dash, and then whatever the task is, however many that is for you. If you're just getting started, let's say start off with 3, right? For me, I have about 5 to 7, depending on what I've got going on. But if you're trying to put a bunch of shit to accomplish, it can get a little overwhelming if you're just getting started with sort of organizing your life. So write down the tasks for the day with an empty box. As soon as you finish it, a little check mark right there. Gives you a little satisfaction once you do that as well. And another thing to note in regards to completing tasks throughout the day is a perspective that a lot of people have in regards to the things that they need to get done, is that it's sort of or they view it as an obligation rather than an opportunity. And that is a key mindset shift that everyone needs to make. Is we have to view the things that need to get done as opportunities and not obligations. Instead of saying, oh, I have to go to the gym. No, you get to go to the gym. You know how many people are laying in a hospital bed right now wishing that they could just go for a walk? And you got people complaining, saying they're too lazy or they're too tired. Like, no, you have a working body, so fucking utilize it, man. there are so many people who would probably kill for the opportunity to, just go for a walk, or, go for a swim, or, play a game of soccer, or throw a football or something like that. So everything is an opportunity. You can learn something from everyone, and excuse me, and from everything that you do. So keep that in mind. Next thing is affirmations, right? If you're not familiar with those, it's essentially programming your subconscious mind to attract the things that you, what would I say, that you envision being in your future, right? Because I don't know if I've mentioned this on the channel before, but there's this thing called the backwards law, right? It's the philosopher Alan Watts. He was a English guy, unfortunately died in the 70s, I believe. But he was pretty much the first Western contemporary philosopher to sort of bridge the Eastern world and the Western world. He was a big Zen guy, Buddhism guy. But this backwards law that I mentioned, it's essentially the gist of it is that the more not necessarily effort that you put into something, but the harder you try, the further you're going to push that thing you're attempting to attain away. Right? So it's like if you've got a ball of yarn and you're playing with a cat. If you're chasing the cat around with that ball of yarn, fucking holding it in its face, it's not going to want to play with the ball of yarn. You got to dangle it a little bit, tease it, make it chase you, right? It's a mixture of discipline and surrender. That applies to a lot of things. You gotta surrender to what the universe has in store for you, and once you find out what that is, do what needs to be done in order to get you closer to attaining that goal. But anyways, back to the affirmations. These are qualities that you want to have in yourself, things you want to accomplish, sort of mantras that get you started for your day. You can look up some examples online. And then next, for me personally, I have 2 questions that I ask myself. Number 1 is one lesson that I learned today. Just leave like 3 or 4 lines below that, answer that. Then the next question is, how can I improve tomorrow? Once I'm done answering those, I'll start a new page. I'll title it Journal Entry, same date as the page before, and it'll just be a sort of collection of my thoughts from the day, what I learned. Obviously not the exact same thing that I mentioned in the question I answered, meaning the one lesson I learned today, but maybe just a general recount of events, my thoughts, my feelings for the day. But yeah, once you start doing this, you're gonna notice that your life is a lot more, I'm not gonna say effortless, but it's going to start flowing a lot easier. It's not gonna be so discombobulated and disorganized as when you aren't doing it, because it adds a little bit of structure to your life, right? Like you're gonna wanna plan out your week on Sunday night, and then every night right before I go to bed, just do that little, answer those questions, write the journal entry, and bam. Like I said, it's so important to be able to clearly articulate your thoughts, because if you aren't, whatever knowledge you may have is useless if you can't properly get that across to someone, and you practice that by getting your thoughts down every day. So, all that being said, I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. If you liked it, don't hesitate to like the video, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.